Hey, guys and gals. Welcome to a new episode of Retro Gaming Madness, where we dust off the great classics of the past, take a hard look at them, and, of course, have a good laugh about them, too. Today, we're going to dive into one of the most legendary titles in the history of video games. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because we're talking about Street Fighter II for SNES, one of the fighting games that defined the genre, made arcades scream, and wore out more controllers than we can count. But is all that glitters really gold? Let's start with some context. For those who don't know, Street Fighter II isn't just a game, it's an institution. First released in arcades in 1991 and ported to the SNES in 1992, it was one of the first titles to let us savor the beauty of a one-on-one fighting game. Two characters, a ring, and off to exchange punches as if there was no tomorrow. But let's go into more detail about what made this title legendary, and even a little hilarious.
Now, let's be clear, for 1992, Street Fighter II on the SNES was truly a sight to behold. Detailed sprites, bright colors, and animations that, for the time, seemed like they came out of the future. Of course, if we look at it today, they all seem to be made of Lego bricks, but at the time it was pure magic. And do you want to put the level of detail? Zangief's muscles, Guile's legendary head, flat as a table. Each character has a memorable look that makes them instantly recognizable, although, let's face it, some look like they just stepped out of an 80s musical. This is the part where Street Fighter II really shines. Unlike many fighting games of the time, here you don't just press random buttons and hope that something happens. Each character has a variety of special moves, from Ryu and Ken's fireballs, which we tried to do in the living room by destroying furniture and family relationships, to Blanka's electrifying attacks. And let's not forget Guile's legendary Sonic Boom. Each move has a specific sequence, and learning them all was practically an initiation rite at the time. Who doesn't remember those afternoons desperately trying to pull out a Hadouken and instead just making some kind of awkward leap? At a time when games had 2 or 3 characters at most, Street Fighter II offered 8. We have Ryu and Ken, the eternal rivals, Guile with his haircut that seems carved in marble, Chun-Li, the first true video game heroine, and many others. Each character has a unique fighting style. Zangief, for example, is slow as a tractor, but when he catches you it's serious trouble. Blanka is, well, some kind of green thing that bites you and electrocutes you. In short, there is something for all tastes, and everyone will quickly find their favorite. Yes, even Dalsim, although probably no one has ever really understood how to use it.
Guys, let's be clear, Street Fighter II's AI is a bit like the school bully. In the first levels everything is calm, the enemies are there and get beaten up. But as soon as you go a little further, it becomes a nightmare. The AI reads your inputs, anticipates your every move, and punishes you whenever you try to do anything other than guard. Try to make a Hadouken when the AI has decided that you don't have to win. I bet it will shoot you a bullet faster than light. And let's not talk about M. Bison, who is practically a supervillain even in the game code. The guy has no mercy, nothing but shooting, he directly sweeps you away. Now, we all know, video games of the past always had some flaws, but here the question is hilarious. Let's talk about Ryu and Ken, practically 2 carbon copies, and then we have Dalsim who also stretches during kicks. Is the character balance a bit, how shall I put it, personalized? Some characters are very strong, while others seem there just to make you laugh. Guile, for example, is a killing machine, while Chun-Li does somersaults hoping to hit you, although in reality she looks more like a retired gymnast. Street Fighter II's audio is a masterpiece in its own way. Every shot sounds like thunder, and the music is iconic. But have you ever stopped to listen to the voices? Every time Ryu throws a Hadouken, he seems to be shouting arugula, and we will never know if he is actually saying Hadouken or is ordering us a Japanese salad. The sounds of the punches, then, are a mix between a punch in the face and the sound of a flat tire. But hey, that's part of the charm, right? The real nightmare of anyone who has ever played Street Fighter 2 on SNES. Do you ever try to do a special move, perhaps the legendary Shoryuken, and end up making a timid punch? Or worse, blow up and crash to the ground while your opponent looks at you in amazement? The move combinations aren't exactly precise, and sometimes you find yourself doing things you didn't even want to do. But the satisfaction of executing a Hadouken for the first time, guys, you don't forget that.
Have you ever tried the bonus scenes? Yes, the ones where you destroy a car or break some crates. Don't ask me why, but spending a few seconds pounding on an abandoned car has its charm. This is probably a build-up of anger against AI and gives us an illusion of power. And the funniest thing is that there are even players who specialize in doing it, as if it were needed in real life. Did you know that the American version of Street Fighter 2 was censored? Some blood shots and certain references were removed to avoid controversy. But this didn't stop us from madly loving every single fight. In short, in the end, if it's called Street Fighter, there must be a reason, right? So, guys, what can we say? Street Fighter 2 on the SNES definitely has its flaws, but it's impossible not to love it. It's a piece of history, one of those games that defined a generation. With its strengths and weaknesses, it has managed to remain in our hearts, one punch at a time. It's one of those titles that, if you haven't tried yet, you absolutely need to catch up on. You might suffer a little from the AI, but hey, it's all part of the fun. Well, friends, that's all for today. Let us know in the comments which character you use, if you are a classic Ryu and Ken or you like Dalsim's challenge. And don't forget to sign up for more blasts from the past with mythical and hilarious games. Until next time.